Hey guys, Robot here, and I tried my best to get this answer video up on Thursday, but I'm not sure if it will be up by now because I spent 44 minutes recording all the answers in as much detail as I could, and then I found out that Camtasia hadn't recorded my audio. So what I've done now is I've filtered down the questions to I've taken out the jokey ones and I've taken out the ones that are repeated, and I've kind of taken out the ones that are really not that related and I would have to spend quite a while explaining. So I've narrowed them down. Obviously you can't see them because I'm not recording my screen anymore. I'm just going to stick some image that I've made there and I'm just going to go through the questions. So these are generally in order, and we start off with how do you make backgrounds nice and keep the file size under the limit. I've noticed recently YouTube has taken the limit down to 800 kilobytes, and I always save them by going to File, Save for Web and Devices, and then save as PNG 24, and that is the best quality you're going to get. That's HD. If it's way over 800, you need to remove some stock images, you need to remove flames, flares, all of that. They take up a lot of file size. If you haven't already, you can take down the canvas size in length, which also can reduce the file size, but PNG 8 is the next best option, and then JPEG's the last resort. Next question, how do you keep motivated? Well, basically my subs keep me motivated. Now if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't have fun making videos. If they're only getting watched by like 20 people for the last year, then that wouldn't be fun. But it's something I enjoy doing. I started it and fortunately my channel's grown, and that keeps me motivated. Getting comments, likes, all of that keeps me motivated. Next question, how long did it take to get where I am now? So I started my channel on November the 3rd. That is exactly when I started doing graphics. Pretty much is when I started my channel, is when I started graphics, and I've been going for that long. So it took me about 10 months to get where I am now. But of course it was a very different place when I started, back in the day. What tips do you have for an underrated designer? Alright, now I had a list of tips which has also gone missing earlier, and quite a lot of other stuff. So tips that I would give an underrated designer would be to, first of all, you have to interact with bigger channels. Now if you focus on what you're good at, so I'm going to give a couple of examples off the top of my head here. Apex Predator, really good at backgrounds, so he focuses on backgrounds. You see a lot of background speed arts. He sends backgrounds to a lot of bigger channels, which in turn gets him promotion. And another example, Sherbet Melon, photo manipulations are amazing. Look how he's promoted one of them. One has like 70,000 views or whatever it's on now. But again, there's a lot of promotion there because he's really good. So if you focus on what you're good at, then you're going to get subs from it. But don't try and do stuff that you're not good at. Also, be original. I'm not just talking about backgrounds here. I'm talking about like if you're doing a kind of a series like Mr. Olsenator did of GFX News, that was really original. People subscribed to him because of it. I think it's Malkov Designs is now doing GFX Radio, which is also very original, so people subscribe to him because of it. And especially if you can get bigger people involved in this kind of series that you do. Also, be good at what you're good. Be good at it. You can't expect to get anywhere if you're not very good. And if you are good, try and work with bigger channels, and that's pretty much it. Upload regularly, quality work in HD, with good music, because people don't want to watch 4:3 resolution speed arts which aren't slowed down with no music. Okay, next question. Done that one. Why did I choose the name Robot and spell it with an I2? I was just guessing at names really. Robot has nothing to do with anything. Because it's short, snappy, and Robot was obviously taken, so L2 Obot I think was taken as well, and 1-2 doesn't look really good, so I just went with I2. And the I2 thing was Raw Instinct. I first saw it on his page, which made it look like an R. What inspired me to start graphics? The two main inspirations I have were MasterGFX, I don't know if a lot of you remember him, I promoted him a while back, and Strats, and Strats is obviously still around. But those two, I just saw their backgrounds they made back in last summer, and I was just like, I need to learn how to do that because they were so good. And obviously times have changed now, but they really are great designers, both of them. And also, I don't know if you know Scott or GGFX from Original 3 Media. he was also a massive inspiration. I saw his intros and I was just like, although I don't do intros, I just thought I have to be able to create stuff like this. What inspired me to done that one? Why do I keep repeating the questions? What would I recommend for Cinema 4D resources? If you just look around YouTube, I want to get more into Cinema 4D myself because I'm not very good at it, and all I can basically do is 3D text. So I've been looking around YouTube and you can find loads of models. There's loads and loads of default models in Cinema 4D. I don't know if you know this, but there's really quite a lot. I'll show you where to find them at some point. But if you look around for texturing tutorials and material packs, you can find a lot on YouTube and Google, of course. If you just type in such and such model, it's probably going to come up with it. What laptop do you use? I use a Dell Inspiron XPS 17, and it's fully upgraded to an Intel Core i7 quad-core processor with 500 gig hard drive. I didn't really feel the need to upgrade the hard drive as much because you can just buy a kind of extra hard drive for like a tenth of the price when you actually need it, but I haven't needed one so far. And 8 gig RAM. Best background you've made? I'm not actually sure. I think that would have to be for you guys to decide. Personally, my style varies a lot, so I can't decide that one. What tablet would you recommend for a beginner? Oh no, sorry, I've jumped quite a few. How are you good at Cinema 4D? I'm not. Is Cinema 4D the best program to use? I would say yes, just because I know it now. Like someone who's an expert on 3ds Max would probably say that's the best one to use. Personally, I like Cinema 4D just because it's really easy to put like 3D text together, which is good. What tablet would you recommend for a beginner? I'm looking at tablets at the moment, so I think I want to get one just because I want to get into more like painting and I want to create digital cities and stuff like that. So I'm going to go with a Wacom Bamboo Pen and Touch, I think. I'm not sure. It has Pen and Touch in it, and it's made by Wacom, or however you pronounce that. And it looks pretty good, and it's got good reviews, so I'm not too sure about that one, but that's what I'd go for. How much do you earn doing what you do? Right, so I'm not going to release like exact amounts or show you my AdSense, but I basically more or less always get £150 per month from advertising alone, just give or take a couple. And then I probably get double that through backgrounds, which is like 20 requests a month, which isn't that much. So maybe even more than that. It varies a hell of a lot. Like some weeks, this week's been pretty quiet apart from the last 2 days. Alright. Sorry I got interrupted there. Now we're back. Where were we? Okay. Do you enjoy editing or do you do it to entertain? Obviously I enjoy it, otherwise I wouldn't have started this channel. I wouldn't just learn something because I don't enjoy it just to get subscribers or something like that. But as you grow bigger and bigger, your channel starts to feel like that you have to upload rather than you want to. So although when I had a smaller amount of subscribers, there weren't as many people watching my videos. That does have benefits, like you can upload whatever you want. If I uploaded some of the stuff I uploaded back then, now, people would hate it so much. And, you know, there's aspects of both having a small channel and a big channel that are good. You can upload whatever you want, but you won't have many people to watch your videos. And when you're big, you can have a lot of people to watch your videos, but you'll also get a lot of criticism. Typography, what's the best program? I don't do typography very much. But if you want to get into it, I'd say learn Illustrator, just because it's very like professional for that kind of thing. There's no pixelation on text, and I'm not a huge fan of Illustrator just because I can't use it. How much? No, I've done that. Do you have lessons or do this at college? Nope, neither of them. I haven't had lessons. Well, I only watch tutorials, and I don't do anything like this at school. I did history, English, and geography for A-level, if you're wondering. My favourite game on console would have to be Black Ops. I know it gets a lot of stick, but I quite like it. Are the standards for graphic design... I like this question, so I separated it out. Are the standards for graphic design changing, in your opinion, and will this make starting off for beginners harder task because they can't grasp an audience as they cannot produce the same quality videos that Strat, Sherb and all the well-known designers produce? I think, without a doubt, the graphics community is changing, and it doesn't necessarily make it harder for people to kind of get out there. If you're good at what you do, you're going to get out there either way. Like, in some respects, you don't deserve to get out there if you don't produce quality content, but times are changing. If I uploaded some of the stuff I uploaded 5 months ago, that would get a lot of hate right now because it's just not good enough for the community anymore. And it seems like I used to spend about 20 minutes on a speed art, just making a simple piece of 3D text and putting on a gradient background and a few brushes and stuff, but that's definitely not good enough anymore. And I feel that unless I spend over an hour on a speed art, it's not worth uploading, really. And I know a few examples that have got so much hate just because they kind of aren't good enough. And I think the graphics community is slowly becoming like the COD community, but it won't stop less well-known designers coming out there, because if you see what happens to the COD community, like the main channels blew up, and then you can start a COD channel in like a day and just seem to, if you know the right people, just seem to get like 1,000 subscribers out of nowhere. And maybe the graphics community is going to become like that. I don't know. What do you think of Apex versus Marco? Funny question, but I'm just going to sit on the fence because they're both great designers. I speak to them both. I like them both. They're kind of war thing, if you will. It just entertains me. It's quite funny to, especially on Twitter. If you're not on Twitter, you need to get on there. Do you have to be good at speed arts to be good at graphics? I don't think so, personally. You just need to be good at something. I'll use an example here of a guy called Imira. He's great at backgrounds, and I'm not saying he's not great at speed arts, but he started fairly recently, and he's definitely done well for himself. I think he's on 2K now, and he's just really good at backgrounds. So if you're good at something, it's just proof that you're going to get out there. Best way to make backgrounds for big channels? Well, it depends. I'm not sure how Apex Predator does it, but you'd probably have to ask him, because he obviously does make a lot of big channels backgrounds, and that's great. So I don't make many backgrounds for big channels anymore, but when I did for Extras and Small Beans, I just made it and sent it, and that's pretty much my tactics for anything, because who knows, just get a Twitter account and go on Twitter and send it to them, or try and add them on Skype or something like that, somewhere where they're just not gonna, like on YouTube there's their biggest fan base without a doubt, so try and get them somewhere where their lowest fan base is, like Facebook or whatever kind of thing they operate on. Best done that. When you first started your YouTube channel, did you want to get famous? Obvious. Well, not like, or I'm not famous, but I know what you mean. Everyone knows what you mean, so there's no point in nitpicking. But obviously I wanted a decent subscriber base to rate my videos, comment my videos, and that's what keeps me motivated. So yep. Favourite graphics YouTuber? I don't have a favourite one. I'll try and list some from memory. Sorry if I don't mention your name here, but for backgrounds, for YouTube backgrounds, my favourites are definitely Raided Designs, Imira, and they're the two off the top of my head, but I made a list earlier. I know there were more on it. For speed arts, I like Sherbet Melon and Doris, and again, there's so many more. I just can't think of them off the top of my head. Marco Arts for backgrounds, Beijing Cajun and Apex Predator I think were on the list. But it really varies on what style I like at the moment. So like Matty de Cesare, he was one of my favourite background makers a while back, and it just depends what background they make. But Raided Designs, in my opinion, is the best graphics, well, best at backgrounds on YouTube, without a doubt. What happened to your competition for underrated designers? I just thought it was one of the most stupid ideas I ever had, really. There's no, like, I get so many messages saying, check me out, I'm underrated, but you're not underrated, because, like, either people must just blank your channel and all your good content, but most of the time, people just assume they're underrated because they don't have many subscribers. But sometimes you're not. Like, if you're good, you will get the subscribers you deserve. Like, just message someone, and like, if they see a good content, then they'll help you out. Will you extend your tutorial range to After Effects? Yes, probably. I'm trying to get better at intros and motion graphics, so if I do, then I'll extend it to After Effects. If I don't, then I probably won't, but I'd like to. When did you notice your channel was getting popular? Probably around 2,000 subscribers, just after Xjaws promoted me for making his background, which was huge for my channel. You know, I got about 2,000 subs in a week or something, which was just fantastic. What do you enjoy about graphics, and do you want to do it professionally? I don't know, I just enjoy being able to make stuff. I enjoy the ability of just being able to sit down and design a nice piece that someone else likes. I enjoy making stuff for other channels and kind of giving something back and making videos and just getting comments from you guys. I just like the whole idea of my channel. It's just, I love it. And do you want to do it professionally? It's never been more than a hobby. Like, I've never done it in school. I've never done lessons. It's just something I do in my spare time. So probably I would love to do it professionally and get paid as a job to do it, which would obviously be a dream job, to just do something you love. But I can't see it happening. So, alright, I want to start graphics. How should I start? Personally, just watch tutorials on YouTube, download resources, go into Photoshop and just chuck stuff on. What was the first piece of graphics you made? It will be on my channel. You can see it if you scroll all the way down to the bottom of my channel. And how do you get clickable buttons on the background, and how do you get a banner? Partnership, people. I get that message a lot too, and sometimes it frustrates me. Depends what kind of mood I'm in. But apart from that, that's pretty much everything. So I guess I'll see you guys later. And I tried hard to get this video up. Hopefully there'll be another video up tomorrow or later. Depends when this goes up, really. And yeah, I'll see you later, guys. Goodbye.